Have you ever noticed that your close friend has strange habits? Habits that seem like nothing at first, but then start to form a troubling picture? My name is Michael. I live in Seattle, and this is the story of my friend Anna. At first, I didn't even think there was anything wrong with her. We met in college classes, just an ordinary quiet girl, reserved, smiling. But the more I got to know her, the more I felt like there was some kind of war going on inside her. Anna kept looking over her shoulder, as if someone was following her. Her hands trembled, sometimes so badly that her pen would fall right in the middle of a lecture. She often complained about headaches, but at the same time, she laughed. She laughed when she was in pain. I kept wondering, was this just her personality? Or was she hiding something? Later, I found out that a year ago, her father had a heart attack. He can't walk anymore. Her mother stayed behind in a small town in Minnesota, basically alone. And Anna moved to Seattle with her twin brother. His name is Josh. He's the complete opposite of her, always smiling, loud, constantly surrounded by friends. Parties, new people, endless social life. Anna, meanwhile, sat on the sidelines, as if she didn't belong in this world at all. I noticed she was clinging to her only friend, a girl named Claire. The problem was, Claire didn't respect her. She could ignore 3 calls in a row, reply shortly, like it was a favor. And still, Anna waited. Still, she held on. When I asked her, "Why you put up with that?" she just smiled and said, "It's fine. Better this than being completely alone." That's when I felt a familiar burn in my chest. I had once been in the same place, scared of losing the only person I had, even if they were the one hurting me. Anna was quiet most of the time. At parties, she sat in the corner. And sometimes she said things that sent chills down my spine. One day, she admitted, "I'm scared of failing my exams. But you know, Michael, sometimes I don't even care what happens to me, even if everything falls apart." Honestly, I froze. Her words didn't match her image. On one hand, fear of failure. On the other, indifference to her own future. That contradiction haunted me. I wanted to sit her down and have a serious talk. But instead, I just got up and left, because I had no idea what to say. And that's when something happened that nobody expected. After that conversation, I started noticing more and more strange things about Anna. She would arrive on campus early, sit in the farthest corner of the lecture hall, always near the window. And I saw it, her eyes constantly darting around, as if she was expecting danger. Sometimes I thought, maybe she's just paranoid. Maybe I'm imagining too much. But then something happened that made me stop doubting. One evening after class, we went to grab some coffee together. It was a chilly evening. The air smelled of cinnamon. The campus had opened a temporary fair nearby. I noticed Anna was holding her cup with both hands. And not because it was cold. Her hand was shaking so badly that the hot coffee almost spilled out. I asked, "Are you okay?" She looked at me, smiled, and let out a quiet laugh. "Yeah, it's just, sometimes my body doesn't listen to me." Funny, right? But there was nothing funny in her eyes. That's when I first wondered, maybe her condition wasn't just about stress. Maybe it was something deeper, something rooted in her past. A few days later, her brother Josh invited me to a party. And that's when I saw the other side. Josh was laughing, telling stories. Everyone wanted to be around him. But when someone asked, "Where's your sister?" he just waved it off. "Anna, she's not interested. She's always in her shell. Sometimes I think she doesn't care at all." Those words stuck in my head. Didn't care? I remembered how Anna herself had said the same thing about her life. Coincidence? Or was there a terrifying truth behind her words? And then exam week arrived. I noticed Anna studying night after night. Dark circles under her eyes, her hands shaking even more. She whispered, "I have to pass, otherwise it's all for nothing. But if I fail, Michael, maybe that's for the best." That's when I felt pure despair. Her words sounded like a hint that she didn't see a future for herself. I decided to talk to Claire, her only friend. But Claire just shrugged. Anna's always like that. Honestly, sometimes I feel like she makes up problems on purpose. I can't keep saving her all the time. And in that moment, I realized Anna truly had no one. No one except her brother, and now me. But here's what was strange. Josh, her twin, barely paid attention to her state, as if he didn't notice. Or maybe pretended not to notice. I started doubting myself. Maybe I was seeing something that wasn't there. Maybe she really was just different. But exactly 2 days later, something happened that erased all my doubts. In the middle of exams, Anna disappeared. She didn't come to class. She didn't answer her phone. Even her brother had no idea where she was. And that's when I got a message that turned everything upside down. "Michael, if I don't come back, don't look for me." When I saw that message, my heart dropped into an empty void. "If I don't come back, don't look for me." I kept rereading those words over and over, trying to understand what they meant. Leave? Give up? Or something far darker? I called her number dozens of times. Nothing. I texted Josh. He replied a couple of minutes later. Seriously? She's just being dramatic. Probably went for a walk. But everything inside me screamed that this wasn't just a walk. I started searching for her. I checked the campus, the library, the coffee shop where we always sat. Everywhere, empty. Then the thought hit me, maybe she went back home. Back to that small town in Minnesota where her mom and sick father were waiting. But how? She didn't have a car, and she barely had any money. 2 days passed. Exams went on, but I couldn't focus. Every sound from my phone made me flinch. On the third day, she showed up. I saw her on campus, pale, hollow-eyed, but there. Anna, where were you? I almost shouted. She looked at me calmly and said, I went to see my dad. I needed to see him. I thought that if I failed my exams, I'd just give up everything and stay with my parents. I didn't know what to say. On one hand, relief she was alive. On the other, her words sounded like a sentence she had given herself. And then something happened I never expected. For the first time, she cried. Not holding back. Not smiling through the pain. Real tears. Michael, she whispered, I'm tired of being strong. I'm tired of pretending I don't care. Those words hit me harder than any confession. Because all this time, she had been hiding behind a mask of indifference. But inside, she was screaming from fear and pain. Consequences since then, I never saw her as just a quiet girl again. I realized anxiety isn't a quirk or a game. It's a constant battle inside someone, one we often don't even notice. Anna still fears failure. She still shakes when she holds a cup of coffee. But now she knows there's someone who has seen the real her. And I understood that sometimes you have to step in, even if they don't ask. Because silence doesn't always mean, leave me alone. Sometimes it means, please, notice me. And so I want to ask you, if your close friend started acting like Anna, anxious, strange habits, saying things like, I don't care anymore, would you step in? Or would you leave them alone, afraid to cross their boundaries?